All right, more hearings on Capitol Hill yesterday. Lots of great hearing fun. And I got to tell you, and I know I'm not breaking any new ground here, but I'm so disgusted at this point by the farce of these hearings. Really, any hearing on Capitol Hill, it's also totally pointless. Or I should say there is a point, but the point is not to obtain information, which should be basically the sole focus of any hearing. The point of a confirmation hearing is to learn about the nominees and then to decide if they should be confirmed. But that's not what's happening here. The senators on the committee are not trying to find out any information. They aren't asking real questions. And we all know that they have all, or nearly all, made up their minds before the hearing even started. So the whole thing's a joke. Now, yesterday was DNI nominee Tulsi Gabbard and FBI Director nominee Kash Patel, and who were on the hot seat. And we'll play a few clips, but the important point in all these clips, again, is that none of the senators interrogating them, none of the senators interrogating the suspects here are actually trying to figure out how they want to vote. They all knew long before they stepped into that room how they'd vote. In fact, they all knew at approximately 1 a.m. on November 6th, 2024, how they would be voting in this hearing on January 30th. They all knew. The moment Trump was confirmed as the winner, they all knew, the Democrats knew, they'd be voting against whoever the nominee is for whatever position. So again, it's all a farce. It has all the significance and all the reality of professional wrestling. And they're not even trying to hide it. So I want you to watch this moment with Senator Michael Bennet and Tulsi Gabbard. Watch.
Do you believe, as the chairman of this committee believes, as the vast majority of members of our intelligence agencies believe, that Edward Snowden was a traitor to the United States of America?
Senator, if confirmed as Director of National Intelligence, I will work with you to make sure that there is not another Snowden-like leak.
Media. It's not a moment to propagate theories, conspiracy theories, or attacks on journalism in the United States. This is when you need to answer the questions of the people whose votes you're asking for to be confirmed as the chief intelligence officer of this nation. As my colleague said, this is not about you. It's about the people that serve the intelligence agencies of the United States. Is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America? That is not a hard question to answer when the stakes are this high.
Senator, as someone who has
your
served
answer,
in
yes
uniform,
or no, is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America?
As someone who has worn our uniform in combat, I understand how critical our national security is.
Apparently you don't. Apparently you don't. Let me ask you.
Okay, if you want her to answer the question, shut the hell up, Mike. Can you shut your mouth for 2 seconds? He doesn't give her even 2 seconds to answer. She doesn't even start answering. And he's already demanding the answer. And then he has the gall to say, this is not a moment for social media. Well, your whole performance, Mikey, it is about social media. What are you talking about? You're worried about going viral. That's what you want. I mean, that's what all these assholes, that's all they're trying to do. That's what every hearing is. Every hearing now is all these politicians who are glorified TikTok influencers now that just want to go viral. That's all they're thinking about. The only thing they're thinking about is, I want to get a viral clip. We shouldn't even have these hearings anymore. I don't know how, what the process needs to be to do this, but just abolish the confirmation hearings. Just get rid of them. Seriously. The whole thing. The president won. He has the right to fill in his cabinet with whoever he wants. Okay, whoever he wants. I don't care who he puts in there. He won. It's his cabinet. So whoever you want to put in there. That's what people voted for. The ability of the president to fill his cabinet and enact his agenda should not hinge on some committee of showboating, grandstanding, 90 IQ politicians who only just want to get that, little 60-second clip that will go viral on X. Okay? That's not what this should all hinge on. But that was the whole hearing with Tulsi. They didn't give her a chance to answer anything. Just one more example of that. This is her being, you can't even say questioned. You can't even say interrogated, because interrogated means that, like, you're trying to pull information out of somebody. An interrogation is actually exactly what this isn't. But here she is with Senator Mark Warner.
Attention to the egregious civil liberties violations that were occurring at that time.
Ms. Gabbard, Ms. Gabbard, I ask you a question. Please give me the courtesy of responding. You said the reforms now make you supportive. What can you cite? Which reforms?
There are a number of reforms to include getting rid
in the new law,
that,
right?
that all of you and your
Gabbard,
wisdom.
Ms. Gabbard, my time is getting short, but I got to just tell you, after the reforms were passed into law in April of 24, you went on Joe Rogan's podcast in May.
Miss Gabbard, I asked you a question. Please respond. Please respond. I'm not going to let you speak. But Miss Gabbard, please respond with blinks and movements of your eyeballs. Respond in Morse code. Because she's not allowed to. She was trying to answer the question. He's like, well, what reforms do you want? And she goes, well, for example, and then he jumps in again because he doesn't want her to get a chance to answer it. Just an absolute joke. The Kash Patel hearing was no better, actually worse in many ways. Here is Senator Alex Padilla questioning, or not questioning, but grandstanding, performing in front of Kash Patel.
Mr. Patel, do you believe that background checks for firearm purchases are constitutional?
I don't know the in-depths of it, but I think that's what the Supreme Court has said, Senator.
So the word would be yes, yes. Can you say yes, are background checks constitutional?
I can say whatever the Constitution and the Supreme Court ruled is the rule of the land.
The word would be yes, yes. You condescending, pointy-headed prick. Like, what? I wish Kash had said that. Kash should have said that. I understand why he didn't, but I wish he did. And this is because, look, why do I actually think that all of the nominees, I think they've all performed very well given the circumstances. But the only mistake that all these nominees are making is that is they're too nice. They're still too nice. Like, you're under no obligation to sit there and take that from this guy. yes. Like, shut up, you clown. Who are you talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? Okay, I'm not a child. Have some respect. Like, address me with respect, or I'm not going to talk to you. How about that? You can say that. You should say that. You're under no obligation. That's not what this is supposed to be. The whole thing now, it's like, okay, if the president has nominees, and so they have to run this like humiliation ritual, is the idea now. The penalty of being nominated is that you have to just sit there and be condescended to for 2.5 hours on national television. What? Why? Why is that the system? What do we gain from that? Here is Richard Blumenthal, who looks like he was AI generated, doing his whole routine. Here it is.
You've committed that the FBI will not be politicized. So here's your first test. Will you commit that you will not tolerate the firing of the FBI agents who worked with the special counsel's office on these investigations?
Senator, I appreciate the time to visit with you.
It is a yes or no answer, and it is your first test.
Senator, every FBI employee will be held to the absolute same standard, and no one will be terminated for case assignments.
And I'm not going to accept that answer, because if you can't commit that those FBI agents will be protected from political retribution, we can't accept you as FBI director.
All FBI employees will be protected against political retribution.
Those individuals deserve to be protected from Trump retribution. That was your first test. You failed it.
By saying all
that
FBI
is
employees should be protected?
He can't accept that. He can't accept it. He won't accept it because he doesn't agree with it. He doesn't agree with the answer that he's been given, so he won't accept it. But wait a second, Richard, isn't the point of the hearing to get Kash Patel's answers? Aren't we interested? Or is Kash Patel supposed to just sit there and say whatever Richard Blumenthal wants him to say? Is that the point of the hearing, Richard? Is to hear them like puppets repeat whatever your opinion is? Aren't we interested in his opinion, in his perspective? What do you mean you won't accept it? That's what he thinks. That's his answer. But the cringiest, most pathetic moment of the whole hearing came to us courtesy of, naturally, Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff, the human planterwort. Here's his Oscar-worthy performance.
I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know.
You glorified it.
Turn around. Look, talk to them. Say, what is this? Simon Says? Turn around. Stand up. Yeah, I didn't say Simon Says. Put your right hand up. Put your right hand in. Was it like you want him to go get up and dance the hokey pokey? Is that what do you want? Like now you're giving him choreography to perform? I can't. I mean, Adam Schiff, he's like an old irritable woman. I mean, imagine being trapped in a room with this guy, listening to him nag. It's cruel and unusual punishment. It's unconstitutional. We should abolish these hearings on the basis that they are human rights violations. Nobody should be forced to listen to, much less look at, Adam Schiff. That's my stance on that. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.